Good evening, I'm Remington Johnson. I'm a Presbyterian clergywoman that serves at the bedside of the sick and the dying here in Central Texas as a healthcare chaplain. Now, these guys are doing a great job of holding the signs. There's other folks doing work, but these guys are doing a great job. So as a healthcare chaplain, if I've got one patient to see, I can do a really, really good job. Right? I see their needs and I can pour out everything I have to take care of them. I can stay for as long as it takes. They need me to mow the lawn? Fine, I'll do it. Make dinner? Done. Whatever you need, I'm there. One patient, I can focus on that and I can pour it in. But if you give me two, now I've got to make some choices. Right? For every minute that I stay with one patient, the other patient gets less. For every 1 minute that I spend thinking about solving problems for one patient, that other patient gets less time for me to think about solving their problems. You add more and more patients and things get complicated. When we think about division of resources, it kind of comes down to ethics. It's an ethical decision. And there's a thought experiment to help us sort of think about that, to ground us, which is you're alone in the woods and you see a child come out of the woods crying and bleeding, and what do? No thought. You scoop them up and you take care of them. You do all that you can to take care of them because you've seen him, right? Just you and them, you scoop them up. But now you have two children come out. And what do? You have three, you have four. Or, God save our legislators, they have 28 million faces staring at them and saying, we need help, we need something. So they're going to make some really hard decisions that matter. And I want to tell them that we've got some really good faith communities that can help them make good decisions. So in Presbyterianism, we have an understanding of a concept called discernment. Now, discernment is something that a lot of faith traditions share, but I think Presbyterians do it particularly well because we like to do things in order and very, very slowly. So as we think about this, I'm going to give just a very short lesson on discernment. So discernment is this way of sort of developing oneself to see, right? To open our ears, to open our eyes, to both be able to see inside ourselves, our joys, our concerns, our biases, our sorrows, but also be able to see those around us, what actually is going on, right? To be able to see those on the street corner, those in the high rises, to see all that is happening, all the beautiful and majestic and heart-crushing detail of living, everything around us, right? It's a way of orienting the soul. So we think about discernment, there's sort of three different facets we can sort of turn together. Intentionality, grace, and humility. Now, intentionality is one of the most complex. It's this idea that we know that as we make decisions, someone is going to get something, right? We have finite resources, so we're going to give one population something. And at the same time, someone else is not going to get something. Or perhaps the law we passed is actually going to cause harm to another population. So we have someone celebrating and someone mourning. Intentionality of discernment is that understanding that after that decision is made, after that bill is passed, we can celebrate with those that got something. But we have to, with an intentional mind, remember and continue to call to the table those that didn't. It's that idea that even though they didn't make it this time, we still have to keep seeing them, still keep mourning with them, even at the same time that we celebrate those with those that got. The other is humility. Now, humility is this idea that, now God save us, that there's nuance in our decisions. That if we get information that may be different, if we hold our public forums, our public committees, and we hear new things, that actually changes us, that touches our hearts, and that we have the courage and the softness of heart to change our course, to nuance, to soften our perspective, to modify our bills and our votes to reflect the information, the new information that we've heard. And the last is grace. And grace must permeate every aspect of this discernment process. Permeate it, soak into it. Because we know that we can't always make good decisions, right? We try to be good, we try to say the right things, we're going to say the wrong things. The processes are going to have flaws in it. And grace is the piece that keeps us coming back time and time again to the table with those that we may not like, those that are challenging to love, to find a better way forward so we can keep moving forward in the good and the holy and the sacred act of discernment. Amen? Amen.